Good morning to you all, and we will continue with our chapter 2 question and answers. Yesterday we had done a suitable questionnaire for collecting information about the popularity of vegetable atta noodles. Till there we had done. Now the seventh question, give two examples each of sample, population and variable. Give two examples of yeah. The answer is, if we wanted, write down kindly, if we wanted to study the pocket money and expenditure of 200 students of a school, then the example of population are pocket money and expenditure of 200 students. Pocket money and expenditure of 200 students. Samples are pocket money and expenditure of 30 students out of 200 students. Example of samples are pocket money and expenditure of 30 students out of 200 students. And variables are pocket money and expenditure. Next question. Which of the following methods give a better result and why? Question number 8. Census or sample? Your answer is the census method gives better results because each and every item of the universe is studied. Question number 9. Which of the following errors is more serious and why? Sampling errors and non-sampling errors. Yeah. Which are more serious? Answer. Non-sampling errors are more serious than sampling errors because a sampling error can be minimized by taking a larger sample. It is difficult to minimize non-sampling errors even by taking a large sample. Even census can contain non-sampling errors. Now we come to question number 14 of your books. Do samples provide better results than surveys? Give reasons for your answer. That is question number 14. The answer would be samples provide reliable information if selected scientifically. These are less costlier in terms of time, money, and efforts. Errors can be easily detected and modified due to the smaller number of items which are selected to study. Okay. Now, besides these questions, you also will be doing these following questions. The question is, what do you mean by primary data? Write down the question. What do you mean by primary data? How would you answer this question? Primary data are the original data which are collected by the investigator himself. The original data collected by the investigator himself. Similarly, next question would be, what do you mean by secondary data? Secondary data refers to those data which are collected through other sources these are not original data. The next question would be, enumerate the methods of collecting primary data. Enumerate the methods of collecting primary data. The answer is, the methods of collecting primary data are number 1, direct personal investigation. Number 2, indirect oral investigation. Number 3, information from local sources or correspondence. Fourth, information through questionnaires and schedules by mailing method and enumerators method. Mailing method and enumerators method. So these are the 4 methods of collecting primary data. Similarly, the next question could be, what are the sources of collecting secondary data? What are the sources of collecting secondary data? Your answer would be, there are 2 sources, published sources and unpublished sources. First, published sources. government publications, B, semi-government publications. You can put them in points A, B, C, D. A would be government publications. B would be semi-government publications. C would be reports of committees and commissions. D, publications of international organizations. E, publications of research institutions. Journals and newspapers. And the last, annual reports of joint stock companies. Next question could be, differentiate between census and sample method. Difference between census and sampling method. We will do this question in a tabular form. First column is for census method. The second column is for the sample method. First point, under census method, the whole universe is taken for collection of data in census method. On the other side, sample method, only representative samples, only representative sample is taken for collection of data in sample method. Second point, under census method, since all items are studied under census method, there is a highest degree of accuracy possible. On the other side, since only representative samples are studied, under sample method, it is less accurate but the errors can be easily detected and removed. Third point of difference, under the census method, this method is suitable when the area under investigation is relatively small, is relatively small. On the other side, in sample method, this method is suitable when the area under investigation is large. Next point of difference, census method is very time consuming, very time consuming, as all the items are included. On the other side, sample method is less time consuming, as only samples are studied. And the last point of difference, census method needs more organization and skill, as all the items are to be studied. On the other side, sample method needs less organizational skills as few items are to be studied. As few items are to be studied. And with this, we will end today's chapter and today's class. Tomorrow, we will take up the third chapter in statistics. Till then, all of you, have a nice day and all of you be safe.